Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel. I have a quick question for you. Do you think that XRP is on the cusp of its biggest price move in history? Because I'll tell you that there's a popular analyst who says that, yes, that's quite literally true. Now, I'll just tell you a little bit of what I think at the outset of the video here. Because look, I will not be surprised if by the time this market cycle's done, we look back and we're like, yeah, that absolutely was the biggest price move XRP has ever made in terms of being priced against the dollar or whatever your fiat currency of choice is. But what we're really waiting on here, because it is contingent upon this, is we're waiting to see the entire market move to the upside. As long as we're going to see bigger and better things on the whole, then and entirely across the board, XRP, I firmly believe, is going to be, if not the top large cap performer, then it'll certainly be, by the time the cycle's done, among the top large cap performers. Because, oh my God, compare XRP to like Bitcoin or ETH, for example, or other coins in the top 10. There's just not that much money in it, and it's been so artificially suppressed, but there is genuine interest in it. And that's why I say, yes, XRP, it is contingent upon Bitcoin and the rest of the market going, but if everything's going to go, the degree to which XRP is going to launch the upside, I personally think is going to be much more impressive. But before going further, I do want to be clear, I do not have a financial background of any kind. I am not offering financial advice, and you definitely should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say are right. I'm just an enthusiast who enjoys making YouTube videos about crypto-related topics, but just as a hobby and just for fun. As I record this video, it is 12:57 a.m. Central Time, so it's now Thursday, October 24th, 2024. XRP just a hair below 53 cents, but it did get as low as 51 cents today. Bitcoin, $67,327, and it got as low as $65,347. So some people got spooked there. But for those of you that care to look at your screen here, I'll do this thing that I do every now and then where I click back and forth between the 24-hour chart on XRP and Bitcoin so that you can see these charts are almost exactly the same damn thing. And when XRP did tank down to about 51 cents, that's when Bitcoin tanked down to about $65,000. So Bitcoin led the market down, XRP just followed. And so fine, you don't like seeing the price of XRP go lower, but you know what you do like? You do like seeing that XRP continues to behave in healthy fashion in the sense that it is moving in tandem with the rest of the market. So you better believe, this is what I was getting at the start of the video. If you're going to see this entire market just take off, my God, buckle up because XRP is going to substantially outperform. There's way less money in it. It's undervalued. The market's going to figure this out. Crypto Fear and Greed Index currently at 69 out of 100, so the market is still in greed, though a little bit less so than yesterday. And take a look at this. I've been highlighting this, the progression of this over the last couple days. Look at this, the automated market maker data shared by VET. Now, VET is an XRP Ledger DUNL validator, and he shared total XRP pooled. And he wrote 66% of all the XRP Ledger automated market maker pools were created in the last 7 days. So folks, think about this. The automated market maker, unless I'm mistaken, this would be about right anyway. I think it was technically the end of March. If I'm mistaken, maybe it was April, but I think it was the later part of March. But regardless, the point is, it's been around for a little over half a year, and 66% of all the pools in existence have been created in the last 7 days. Now, of course, this would be a result of a little bit of meme coin mania, if you will, even though the market's not as hot as it was earlier this year. The market just on the whole, there are two platforms, and I've been reporting on this over the last couple of days, that have made it easy to launch meme coins on the XRP ledger and trade them. And as a result, you're seeing this gigantic spike in user activity. And as a result, what's come along with this is, not surprisingly, automated market maker pools substantially increasing. That is a crazy jump. I mean, yeah, it was healthy organic growth for over half a year, and then bam, look at that jump. So now imagine this. Now imagine this in an environment where the people, like the what do you call them? The Wayfair fans of crypto, when they come back, when the mania comes back, because mind you, right now, like the normies aren't really paying attention to crypto. People like you and I, who are more hyper interested in crypto, we're still here. When the normies come back, imagine what this is going to look like. It will be ridiculous. And Vet also shared this post. 1st Ledger, by the way, that's one of the platforms that was launched. where you can create your own meme coins and easily trade them. And so First Ledger, as this is written by Vet now, First Ledger broke XRP Ledger's all-time high for new issued tokens per day, dwarfing the peak of the 2021 token craze by magnitudes. Look at this chart. That's insane. We're not even in the midst of mania right now. Pure insanity here. So I just wanted to share that with you to say, when the market gets red hot again and we're back in extreme greed and XRP's running, this is one more thing that's going to help bring attention specifically to XRP and the XRP ledger. Just this functionality, it will bring that much more attention to it. There's this post from chart analyst Steph is Crypto, and this is unquestionably true so far as I'm concerned. I got an XRP USD chart going back a decade here. And Steph is Crypto says, XRP is ready for the biggest move in its entire price history. The Bollinger Bands on the monthly time frame speak for themselves. Now, this is something that I first started talking about on my channel as it pertains to this market cycle, I believe it was April of this year. And that's because multiple chart analysts started noticing and highlighting this. And so the Bollinger Bands in April hit the tightest in the history of XRP. And that's good because when that well, I mean, it can be good. If you're in a bull market, yeah, probably. Because when Bollinger Bands get tighter, so decrease in volatility, it does indicate ultimately you're getting closer and closer to a break to the upside or the downside. And it is true that you don't know for sure. Like this metric on its own, it doesn't tell you which way XRP would break. It just tells you, yeah, it's going to break at some point, and you'll have some notable pop one direction or another. But since we're in a bull market, there's a reason that's the reason that so many analysts are saying when this thing breaks, it's going to be a substantial move to the upside. And I just wanted to point out that, yes, tightest in history as of April of this year, but it's increasingly gotten tighter. Look at this range. Look at the upper and lower boundaries here. It's just gotten narrower. Tightest in history. When this thing blows, whew. I mean, unless we're all wrong and we're in a bear market, then fine, maybe it's going to shoot to the downside with force, but I don't see that happening unless the entire market's going to tank. I don't think that you're going to have some sort of euphoric run and then XRP is the only coin that just doesn't participate. That's never how crypto has worked in history. You know, the asset class just moves in tandem. XRP is supremely valued. And you can see at these moments where it was particularly tight. Look over the last couple cycles. That is when you did have those monstrous breaks here. So that's why I was asking at the outset of the video, like, what do you think? Do you think that XRP is on the cusp of the greatest break for it in its history? I mean, I would tell you that I certainly think in terms of dollars and cents, you know, XRP priced against pick your fiat currency, I will not be surprised if that's true. You know, even if not in terms of total percentages, because obviously, you know, going from half a penny to almost $4, yeah, you're not going to beat that percentage. But in terms of the dollar move, my God, it's gonna dwarf it if we're correct. And I will not be surprised if a lot of the analysts that are calling for these bigger numbers, bigger to me anyway, some of you might think that they're smaller, but to me they're bigger, getting into even close to double-digit XRP. I think that's going to change a lot of people's lives. And maybe we should talk about some of those levels, actually. So there's this post by chart analyst E. Greg Crypto, and he was talking about XRP priced against Bitcoin, but not just that. He was talking about also XRP priced against Bitcoin and what that would mean for the price of XRP in terms of dollars. And there are some monstrous targets which are double digits, and all of them, just my humble opinion, is that it is safely grounded within the realm of reality. Now, that doesn't mean that I know for sure that it's going to happen or not, and no, it is not a prediction, certainly not for me. But in crypto, can this stuff happen? Has stuff like this happened, including with XRP in the past? Yes, absolutely. And so here's what Greg Crypto had to say. XRP/BTC YOLO band. You only live once. Update. He says, remember that from my May 1st, 2024 post where I mentioned 0.00001 as the launch point. So again, this is XRP price against Bitcoin. He says, well, here's the update. And here's what's happening now. XRP BTC made an attempt to close above 0.00001, but the sell-off was massive. Right now, it's retesting the YOLO band at the launch pad. A closure above 0.0000667 is super bearish. Historical data shows that breaking point 0.00001 range requires impulsive mega thrust move. Let me just pause to acknowledge that when there's that many zeros, it's kind of difficult for us regular folks to wrap our brains around. Okay, that's a lot of zeros. You're saying a lot of numbers. What actually is that? Here, let me go ahead and pull this up full screen. So we've got this XRP BTC chart, and you can see some of these levels that he's referencing here if you care to look as I go through this. But to suffice it to say, as long as we trend upward, so there are ultimately fewer zeros. Okay, that's the right direction, certainly. And then of course the implications for that in terms of what XRP would likely then be priced against the dollar. Wow, that's the most fun part of this post, I think, anyway. So anyway, he continues here. He says, in previous cycles, Cycle A had consecutive bullish candles. Cycle B had the legendary Mega God candle. Cycle C saw a big candle breakthrough. This time, we're gearing up for similar explosive moves, taking us to 0.000022. Now, breaking the descending channel has a breakout measured move to 0.00017. This will be epic. Breakout from the descending channel, well, let's talk the numbers. Approximating the 0.00017 move in Bitcoin terms. Okay, so you can imagine that XRP can be picking up ground against Bitcoin just on the whole, but that, of course, doesn't tell you what, frankly, most of us would be most excited about is what would that mean in terms of XRP being valued in terms of dollars. And so, of course, the higher that Bitcoin goes, the greater the implication is for XRP. So yes, you can continue to see XRP pick up ground against Bitcoin, but if you have no additional information, okay, but what's Bitcoin priced at in dollars? What's XRP priced at in dollars? Then it's not going to slap quite as hard, right? Even though we love to see XRP picking up ground against Bitcoin. And in all likelihood, it probably did find its bottom on June 7th already for this market cycle. No guarantees. I'm not making that prediction. That is what it is, and it's been performing pretty damn good. Like it's held above that for several months now, so take it for what it's worth here. So what would this mean? So he says if Bitcoin's at $70,000, that would mean XRP would be at $12. If Bitcoin hits $100,000, then you're talking about $17 XRP. If Bitcoin's at $130,000, that would be $22 XRP. If Bitcoin hits $160,000, that would be $27 XRP. Now, I'll pause to note here, a lot of the analysts that I follow, they seem to think anywhere around like $120,000, maybe $150,000 would be a pretty realistic top for Bitcoin for this cycle. But even a lot of the analysts that recognize that say, okay, if you have a fringe case and this is way bigger than what people are thinking for, maybe you could see $200,000 to $300,000 Bitcoin. Now, I don't think that most of the analysts that I follow think that's the most probable outcome for this market cycle, but there are some that will acknowledge, okay, if things get absolutely cray-cray, okay, maybe you could see something like that. So this certainly isn't the base case for most of the analysts that I follow, but if you're talking about getting up to even $200,000, as is cited here by eGreg Crypto, that could mean an XRP price, if it's performing ideally against Bitcoin, of $34. So the higher the level for Bitcoin, yes, of course, and it should be pretty easy to understand why. The more money flows into Bitcoin, the more profit's going to be taken, but then some of that's going to be injected back into the rest of the crypto market, including XRP. So you just it goes from Bitcoin into other large caps, mid caps, small caps, rinse and repeat. That's pretty much it. So the idea of having like a $34 XRP, well, I acknowledge it could happen. I'm not counting on it necessarily for this cycle. I'm really not. But if you're talking about a Bitcoin price over 200K, well, then of course I'll acknowledge, it becomes a lot more probable you're going to see something like that in terms of XRP performance. And that's why I was saying at the outset of this freaking video, yes, the whole market moves in tandem, but if we're going to go and, Bitcoin's going to perform in an incredible fashion, gets everybody excited, XRP will dwarf that. There is so much less money in XRP than Bitcoin. To get that crazy multiplier effect, it just doesn't take that much to get this party started. It really doesn't here. So we'll see what happens here, but let's just say I'm personally very optimistic. So in the short term, yes, I'll warn again that there are a number of analysts saying, hey, you could see Bitcoin, tank to the downside in the short term. I'm still seeing the same thing that I've been reporting on for probably, how long has it been? Like a week at this point? Slightly more than that, whatever it's been. yes, I am seeing a number of analysts saying that it's possible. Then I'm saying some additional analysts that are just kind of, let me just break it down here. The bottom line is there's an acknowledgement that it could be up or down. There's not a great level of conviction from most analysts that I follow as to what is most probable. Some think that it's more probable we move to the downside. Some things think it's a little more probable in the short term we move to the upside. But I'm not seeing a lot of confluence in terms of an agreement. And so, when I do see a lot of agreement from a lot of analysts, I've just noticed that usually that is indeed what happens. So I'm telling you, I'm not seeing that now personally. And so, I think that there's good reason as to why a lot of analysts aren't that confident as to what's going to be happening in the short term. But the good news is, even if we see that move to the downside, which is certainly possible, maybe Bitcoin does get into the 50,000s, maybe XRP does become worth as little as 40 something cents, 45, 46, 47 cents, whatever. Even if that happens, that in and of itself is not some sort of bigger picture negative. In fact, on the higher time frame, I'm still seeing from every analyst, we're still going to see a move to the upside. On a macro level, nothing else has changed. So it's not something to be fearful of. I haven't seen any analysts that I follow indicate, if it goes even just down that little bit, man, we're really in trouble now. No, it's just that we're in a volatile asset class. That stuff happens and it spooks out people who aren't used to it. And there you go. It's pretty much it. The weak hands, right? The lettuce hands. So, nothing to be afraid of here so far as I'm not anyway. You guys are entitled to feel however you want to feel here, but I think this is a time, broadly speaking, to be pretty optimistic for the future, based on historic precedent. And you can never have a guarantee of what's going to happen. And yes, you can have a black swan event and everything can fall apart. But if you're looking at history and expecting history to do what it normally does, which is to say not literally repeat, but just kind of rhyme with itself, it's going to keep doing that. It typically will kind of look somewhat like the past. And given that's the case, that's why I'm saying there's very good reason to be optimistic about what's going to happen here. So just got to wait a little bit longer. But nothing's broken here, folks. It just isn't. I'm not a financial advisor. You should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo.